Hello, Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise here, welcoming you to that time of year where we look back and inexplicably, arbitrarily rank things for some reason. Looking back at 2016, I see that I played about 140 different board and card games this year. Now, some were brand new, some were just new to me, and others were old favorites. But I can't help but wonder, how can I best judge and label them? Well, let's find out in the first part of my official, completely subjective top list of whatever I decide to put on it 2016 Board Game Flavor Edition. Here we go. First up is the game that needs more game. This is the game that, while playing it is an enjoyable experience, afterwards, instead of being left with a sense of satisfaction and smug accomplishment, I am left unsatiated. Well, this year, more than any other game, Holmes, Sherlock, and Mycroft leaves me wanting more. This is an excellent game, don't get me wrong, but it always leaves me wanting an expansion to add more cards and more characters and just more content to it. This game, more than any other game I played this year, just needs more stuff. Next up is the game that packed the biggest punch into the smallest box. And this year, that game is definitely Deep Sea Adventure. This wee little tiny game tests just how far you're willing to risk your own well-being in the name of unbridled avarice. Playing the part of a deep-sea explorer, you are hunting for sunken treasure, and the deeper you dive, the bigger your potential rewards. And all you risk in doing so is your personal air supply. The greedier you are, the higher the chance that you'll end up a bloated husk floating on the ocean surface by pushing your luck too far. Well, turns out, I'm pretty greedy. But even repeatedly succumbing to a watery tomb didn't diminish my enjoyment of this game. We'll end this time with the yeah, right game. And this year, that game is Mechs vs. Minions. This game just came out of nowhere, being released just several months after it was first announced, even though it had been in development for several years. This game was promised to be a, quote, love letter to board games, with attention paid to every detail and no expense spared. Because of this, a fireball of excitement and anticipation for this game just exploded before its release. But could this game then live up to all of these fiery expectations? Many were skeptical, including myself. But then I played it. And yes, it totally lived up to my expectations. And then some. And that's why Mechs vs. Minions has earned this title on my list of the year. Well, that's it for this installment, but join me next time when I will continue down my list of arbitrary board gaming selections from the past year, including, eventually, my favorite game that I played for the very first time in 2016. What game could it be? Well, if I already knew, then this list wouldn't really be arbitrary then, would it? Maybe? I don't know. I'll find out before next time, and I'll see you then. Now, if I was to give each item on this list a barely relevant music reference, the next item on my list, Mechs vs. Minions, would be all about not believing the hype.
Don't believe the hype.
Even though that doesn't make sense at all, because when it comes to Mechs vs. Minions, we want to believe the hype because it lived up to the hype. So we want to believe the hype. What about this one?
Don't believe the hype is a sequel.
That's not better. Oops. All right, back to the drawing board. I'm sure I'll come up with something else to say about Mechs vs. Minions, I guess. Take me out!